I messed up my thumb, so I didn't want to have surgery. Let me tell you about this surgery, but here's what I did to fix it. Boom! Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. So when I hurt my thumb, and it was years of pounding, right? So I boxed for 7 years. I know I wasn't a great boxer. One thing I had is a great overhand right. So we practiced it over and over and over and over. Might have been striking it wrong, but you ever use that really hard pad where you practice your power punches? I would do that, and over time and sparring and everything involved, my right thumb, right in here, completely jacked up. There's no cartilage left in there. There's no padding. There's 2 bone spurs in there. I've had it x-rayed. I had stem cells injected in it. I've done everything it takes. So I was getting cortisone shots about every 3 months just to be able to function with my thumb. It was to the point where it would hurt. I wasn't able to pick up weights correctly. I wasn't able to text correctly. That's how bad it was. So you know what? I tried BPC-157 before, but I really didn't have anything to measure other than just knee soreness, just things that come with age and weather and wear and tear. So with this thumb, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go all in on this BPC-157 and TB-500. I use both of them, right? I'll show you what I bought in a minute here, right? I'll show you the product I'm using. So long story short, I started using it 250 micrograms morning and night. So I was doing that. I would do it daily. And in about 6 to 7 weeks, I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, I was just going on with my day. The injections just became whatever, just became part of my morning and night routine. And I noticed that I was holding a weight. So I was changing weights at Legacy. I'm picking it up and I'm like, this doesn't hurt that much. And I'm going through it. So I continued using it for another 2 or 3 months. And I noticed that my thumb is nearly 100%. It's not 100%. Like when I squeeze really hard like this, I feel some pain in there, but it's not much. Like osteoarthritis has kicked in. So the alternative is surgery. Now, surgery on this, they basically have to replace the damn thing. I'd be unable to use my right hand. Well, I'd be able to use my right hand for 6 to 12 months. And that would lead to not being able to write correctly with my right hand, not being able to wipe my butt correctly. It would lead to 6 to 12 months of giving myself strangers. And I didn't want to do that. So the BPC-157, I use a mix of BPC-157 and TB-500. So this is from a place called Peptide Pro. It's peptidepro.io, PEPTIDEPRO.io. And the reason I like this, I've talked about this on the, let's see if it focuses. I've talked about this on this channel before, is the owner, a good friend of mine. He's a stickler for stuff. Now I realize, look, consult with your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but realize the world of research chemicals, you can always talk about ethics and this and that. But if you're going to do it, if I'm going to use it, you got to at least have COAs, have the lab tests in there, make sure it's in there, and make sure the facilities where it's made at is right. And that's where we're at right now. That's why it's peptidepro.io. That's where I use. But I want to talk more about BPC-157. Here's where it did work for me. When I had that acute injury, I did not inject directly into the thumb. So I did that at the beginning, and then I'm like, you know, this sucks. Injecting into your thumb, even with an insulin pen, sucks. I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to inject. I injected my calf. That's right. I didn't even feel it. I put the pin in my calf. And I was just like, yeah, you don't even feel it. It's your calf, right? So I did that, and it helped. Now, when I used it before for general aches and pains and all that, I didn't notice much. I didn't notice much at all, and I used it for a good amount of time. But when I used it for this acute injury alongside the TB-500, name of this product is Repair Research. And there's also a capsule version for gut health and overall systemic benefits. Now, BPC-157, I've gone over this before. I've had a negative video. I've had a what if video. I've had a couple positive videos. I've been all over the place with this thing. But I really can't point to anything else. Now, my pain was mitigated a little bit through things like Ambrosia Golden. I use that every single day. Obviously, I use some fish oil for its inflammation effects. You know, I'm a big fan of the cold plunge. I do that every morning just for systemic inflammation. I try to keep my total systemic inflammation at the lowest point I can. But if I'm going to point to one variable that literally prevented me from having to get cortisone shots, which by the way, wear and tear on that even worse. It'll make it even worse. And I refuse to believe there's not a systemic issue with cortisone in your body when you do it locally that often. Look, getting cortisone shots sucks. And they're big needles. They put a lot of volume, a lot of product in there, and just going in is a pain in the butt. First 2 to 3 days afterwards, it's worse than it was before because you just put all that liquid in there. But I'll tell you what, if I'm looking at one variable that healed this thumb, and I'm going to say heal. Again, this is my situation. I'm not claiming it'll work for you. This is my direct testimonial. It's definitely a positive thing. So I would say first, number one, consult with your doctor. But if you have something nagging that you're trying to avoid, going further, right? And again, I tried stem cells and I let them sit for months and it really didn't help much. Like this has been going on for years. In fact, that's the reason I took in 21 when I stopped boxing full time, meaning I went back to bodybuilding. Not like I was a full-time boxer making money doing it. My thumb was pretty sore. It was pretty messed up. And then when I came back, I was thinking of coming back and boxing more. I missed it. And I couldn't even strike. Like I was literally throwing power with the left and just tapping with the right, which sucks because this is my power hand. So, I mean, it has gotten to the point where I could probably box again if I wanted to. I could do everything functionally, but it didn't help for the day-to-day aches and pains. Does that make sense? It helped for this crazy injury that I had. Your pre-workout is not doing its job. Let me explain. Most pre-workouts just have one form of caffeine, which spikes you and drops you. What you want is two forms of caffeine, one to get you up and one to keep you up. And that's what we do with MTS Nutrition Ruckus. We have VitaSure and caffeine anhydrous, which makes sure that you get that immediate burst of energy that carries you throughout your workout. Also, the pump ingredients are just trash. What we use is something called NO3T betaine nitrate. Betaine is known for strength and power, and it goes and it combines with that nitrate to provide the pump you've been wanting. MTS Nutrition Ruckus is available now at tigerfitness.com. So again, if you have something and you're trying to avoid surgery, again, not a doctor, this is me talking if it was me. I'm going to try using this before I go in for that. If you're someone who has some old football injuries, let's say an old achy hip or an achy knee, the recommendation I have that I've used successfully is 500 micrograms total per day, split into 2 doses. And since it's combined with the TB-500, you get that benefit as well. So again, TB-500, another wonderful thing. It goes throughout your body and just heals things. A lot of the data on these substances are in rodents. So there's not enough human data for me to be like, everybody, there's human data, use it. I'm just giving you my feedback because when I initially did my BPC-157 doesn't work video, it was because it didn't work for what I needed at the time. And I'm not flipping, I'm being honest. Like ask anyone around me. I will tell you that this BPC-157, and I've been using it. I've actually talked about other companies I use from. Genetic Peptides is one of them. You know, I've used theirs, phenomenal quality. But right now, you know, peptidepro.io, that's the website, peptidepro.io. That's where I get a coupon. So I had, no, look, not affiliated with the company, not getting paid. Coupon code Lobliner saves you 20%. So you can get hooked up because I love this stuff. If you want to try it, that's the way to go about it. Coupon code Lobliner, peptidepro.io. But again, don't buy it from there. If you have another source that you trust, by all means, geneticpeptides.com is another one. I did, since I bought from it, I did ask for a coupon code if I did share it. So I have that. That's another one. There's a couple others people swear by, but I haven't used them myself. But those are 2 companies I've used. So they're both fantastic. But anyway, hopefully that helps you. I hope there's more human data on BPC-157 because the data in rodents show that it has cardioprotective effects, cardio-rehabilitative effects. So if you're looking at, let's say you're a bodybuilder, maybe you drank a little in the past, maybe you're obese in the past. If you think about if it does translate that rodent data into humans, you're looking at potential therapies for heart issues. Maybe you have some spike protein damage, some of that long C that you want to, you know, mitigate the damage from it. You know, it's something to look at. And don't believe me, go look at the data. The data on it in rodents is fantastic. It is fantastic, but I can't state for sure that it works in humans. I can just give you mine. Now, there's a 100% possibility that it took the stem cells over a year to work, because it's been a couple years since I did the stem cells. So it could be that, right? It could be that it healed on its own, which generally with a wear and tear injury, that's not going to happen. There could be another variable. Maybe I just got used to the pain and the degree of pain became my norm. So I'm just like, all right, this is just normal, whatever. Like, so that pain doesn't register much anymore because I'm just used to it. It's my new normal, but I'm pretty sure there's less pain. Like, I can speak that I'm pretty sure there's less pain. So anyway, that's all I got. Peptidepro.io, coupon code Lobliner. Again, don't use the coupon code. I don't care. Go somewhere else. I don't care. If there's somewhere you trust, I don't care. Don't buy it. Don't care. I'm just telling you my experience with BPC. I get a lot of questions about peptides. Most I don't know. People are like, hey, what's your thoughts on B7564 MK6? I'm like, what is that? I don't know any of these peptide things. I don't know them. I don't know about the SARMs. It's not my specialty. I know supplements. I know drugs, but I'm not a peptide guy. I just don't know enough about them. I know about the peptides I've used, and this is the one. And BPC-157, TB-500, in the beginning, I'm like, nah. And then I really hunkered down and stuck to it, and it really worked for me. And it might not work for you, but it really worked for me. So that's my opinion on BPC-157 and TB-500. For me, it worked. What I'm going to do now is I've actually tapered since I have little pain, is I'm only doing it once a day. I do it at night. I put it in with my GH every night. Well, 5 days a week. So I take GH, 2 IUs every 5 days a week. So that's how I'm maintaining it. I take 250 milligrams of this, micrograms, 250 micrograms, not milligrams. There's 5 milligrams of the whole thing. So 10 milligrams. I'm sorry, this is a big one, 10 milligrams. So I take 250 micrograms in the nighttime. That's all I take. And it's been maintaining. I still have no pain. Overall, my body feels great, but I'm not going to attribute that to the BPC or the TB, other than a little strain I got in my hip from coaching, because I'm old and I still do stuff that young people do. That happens. You get old, you get injured doing stuff you could have done younger. I didn't get majorly. It just strained my adductor and my hip, my hip flexor, but no big deal. It'll heal, and this will probably help it. But anyway, so I did 2 times a day, 250 micrograms. Now I've tapered down where I'm doing 250 micrograms of TB-500 and BPC-157 5 days a week with my GH. Now, if I wasn't taking the GH, I just don't want to load up a syringe just for one thing. You know, it's like, I don't like injections, regardless of what popular theory on me might be. So I try to avoid them at all costs. So the 5 days a week, I do it. And a lot of doctors say that that's the best way to dose things. Things just tend to work less good when you take them frequently, I've heard. I don't know, but that's my maintenance dose. But anyway, I know this is kind of I'm going ADHD on you guys, and I apologize. So basically 250 micrograms morning and night. And once the injury is mostly healed or feels a lot better, then the maintenance dose that I used is 250 micrograms TB-500, BPC-157 once a day, 5 days a week. But you could probably do it 7. It probably won't hurt. All right, guys, hopefully that helps you. Go to tigerfitness.com. That's tigerfitness.com. Coupon code MAHA, M-A-H-A, MAHA, saves you 10% off the entire site, including MTS Nutrition Machine Whey, MTS Nutrition Immortal, Ambrosia Hydroglyph. We have so many brands, hundreds of brands. Go there, support. That supports me directly, right? And again, the peptide site, peptidepro.io, coupon code Lobliner. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on notification bell. Comment down below if you use BPC-157 or TB-500 and what your personal experience has been. All right? Thank you so much for watching. I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game.